Hello and welcome to MEIOU and Taxes. We are playing into the new version, which is going to contain the Burgher Privileges, which I'm going to showcase here and show, and also just play on. So I wanted to play a toll campaign for a while, and I think this is a really good moment because we are going to play as Milan. Milan is northern Italy, and well, they are relatively strongly in the hands of the Burghers, which we are going to see in a second. I also scaled up the UI again in the game options here a bit to make it a bit more readable. So I hope that works. If not, feel free to comment and I will see what I can do. Because I know that the resolution and my capacity to record some stuff in good quality are somewhat limited, but I'm trying my best here. Well, so yeah, we are going to just use the standard settings. I'm going to enable logging here though, so that we can see nice numbers if I don't forget about it. And then we are going to begin. I'm going to, however, skip relatively quickly ahead here, because there's an opening war which is relatively simple and not really noteworthy to show. It's more or less just rushing down your war opponents here. And then from there on, see what you can do. But when I won the war, we are going to stop again and talk about what we have accomplished here. The second merchant I'm going to put here because I think I'm going to expand into Genoa first. Now, the initial war, you are at war with Mantua, Ferrara, and Montferrat here. You either take Pavia and then piece out the rest, or you vassalize Montferrat here. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I will decide in a second and I will come back when I made that decision. But until then, we can embrace commercialization right away. We're also going to pick, yes, a siege guy is perfect here. Then we go into the improved relations here because we are going to get some aggressive expansion from this war, and then afterwards let's take the skill modifiers here. Not going to upgrade them for the moment, and here we do centralization. Nah, let's keep it open for a moment. We don't need anything from here right away. And of course we are going to make a spy network here. The other two we are going to piece out. And then we can decide what we want to potentially peacefully visit, befriend, whatever we want to call it. I think I'm going to conquer Pavia here in this war and not vassalize all of them, even though that would be worth it, because if we check it out here, so if we just take Pavia, it's 32. If we take the vassal here, it's 36. But of course we would get another 14 on top of it. But Pavia is our core. And I think we can afterwards immediately make a claim on Genoa and potentially visit them in the near future. Now, what we want to do, I'm going to explain in a second, but right now I think we are going to just improve relations with Bohemia. Oh, they rivaled us. We do need an alliance there. Yeah, maybe Austria for the moment. So let's improve relations here. Okay, yeah, and then I'm going to just finish this war, get this done, and then we can talk about what to do here. Yep. Okay, here we are. The war is basically won. We are just waiting for the sieges to finish. And what do we take? Stability is fine. Now we can talk about what we want to do here. We are going to play tall, and we're going to lean quite heavily into the left part of the mission tree here, which basically leads to the Iron Crown here. When we conquer all of northern Italy, we probably go further south to Naples later on. But I don't want to go colonial or into any kind of Eastern or Western Rome play. I really want to play tall here in Italy, achieve high urbanization, and just, well, yeah, game it like this. Now, in regards to our new privileges here, we do have quite a lot of them. And as we can see here, 91% power on the Burghers from the get-go. That's something we have to trifle with and deal with. And actually, we are not going to be able to do much in regards to the burghers. Instead, we are going to focus mostly on reforming some stuff on the nobility side, because they are already quite weak. Like, we are on nobility, noble administration, already on extended levies and volunteers here. Even though our taxation is terrible, so we need to get the tax farming reform here. But also we want to get rid of a few privileges as fast as possible. So for example, the familiar service, we definitely have to get this down to 1. Plus 1 corruption is just way too big for my taste. We also want to get rid of all the noble dues privileges here, and probably remove some of the noble levy reforms here, at least like 2, maybe 3 of them, just to get the cost down and therefore get cheaper levies and therefore more levies here. But we have to keep an eye on the taxation in detail, then we can see if it's actually necessary to invest that loyalty here. On the burgher front, we would of course like to go down to governance 2 eventually. But to get to governance 2, we have to get sovereign courts, appointed magistrates, and we need to be below 70 power to get to chair 7, and then we need to get below 65 power to be able to be unsupported, and then we can jump towards magistracy here. So that's quite far away because we are at 90%. To get rid of the 90%, we do have to do things like the autonomy reductions here, which reduce power from autonomy. We have to reduce the patent enforcement. I think we can though. Patent enforcement. Yeah, we can get the guild down further. Probably not. Yeah, we have to see. And we also want to get rid of the urban civic service here, for which we need to get an organized bureaucracy, so that's also quite a while away. And then we can also work on things like we want to get rid of the guild entrenchment here, at least 1 level. I think we can do that even though. Yeah, we can do that right away. Do we want to do it now? Yeah, I think we want to. Because that's getting rid of some of the skill debuffs we currently have. So let's promote commerce here and promote the faction. Yep. And yeah, and then we have to see what else. So there are other things like the rural ownership here, which we can reduce to remove base power from the burghers. It also costs us agriculture skill currently and gives us exotic skill, but we don't need that. So that's a good thing to remove. We also have to remove some of the obligations here. And also then the monopolies eventually to get their power down. But we have to see if that's even possible. Because we are still in the balancing mode here. So, but in regards to the nobility, of course we do have some of the privileges we want to remove. But also I want to risk a reform here. And I want to get free peasantry as fast as possible, because we start with a ruler which has the 65% authority, which we need here to do this reform. So probably we should get to stability 2, and then align the cabinet to get the alignment, and then we can do the reform here to skip the bureaucratic influence here instead. And yeah, from there we have to see what we are going to do. Oh, we shouldn't have looted that. That was a bad idea, because we are going to own it. Of course, we are going to add war reps on top of it and some cash here. Ooh, 0.49 inflation. Nah, that's not worth it. Or is it? Oh, we have an alliance with Venice. I forgot. We do. Oh yeah, we do have admin idea group, yeah? Right, we do have the inflation reduction. Okay, then we can take it. Then it's just 10 years that we need to get rid of that inflation. There we go. Done. And that's Pavia. By the way, I had to restart in between because I had to fix a mistake I coded in between. So I'm still working on the privileges stuff, so... And yeah, so we can actually delay this a bit so that we can use the legitimacy here more properly. Okay, Hungary is now our rival and not no, wait a second. Yeah, Bohemia this time is not our rival because I had to restart. But doesn't matter, do we want to... I think I still want to go after Austria because we want to get the emperorship. So we are going to... No, Genoa is still fine. And Austria might be our friend against Bohemia because we don't want Austria to die to Bohemia. That happens quite often. So, Bohemia is backing us currently. That's interesting. Yeah, we are going to start on the electors here. But also we have to see what we expand into now. So, we want to play tall, which means that we are going to lean heavily into cities. And we are going to urbanize basically everything that we can. Except for the mountain passes like Valtolina. And if we conquer it like Richelieu and Valais here. I don't want to go further outside, so basically the ring of the Alps here will be our outer border. And I do like the mountain provinces here because of the combat worth reduction and the local defensiveness. So I intend to build garrisons here and then forts to protect against anything coming that way. However, we might want to expand here into the Western Alps for a vessel maybe, just to get a bit of a buffer state here and more farmland to feed our cities without us controlling it directly. So that's one thing we want. So, but for the other cities here, so for example, so Valtolina we are not going to urbanize because it just only has 36 farmland, 26 forageries. That's not enough to sustain all the infrastructure cost it would take later. Tessin already starts with a city. Novara as well. I think everybody has a city here. Yeah, everybody has a city. So the most interesting part now is the amenities here. So we can see that Lombardia or Milan is of course massively overcapped because it starts with amenities 4, which is massive. And Cremona here needs new amenities, and we are going to do this. So let's see. I think that's our first project we are going to save up for. Yep, 763. That's a worthy target, and afterwards we can continue and see what else we want to take. In regards to the next expansion, I think we need 2 diplomats now to get electors on our side so that we can become emperor relatively quickly. I think I want to do this. And then we need to see what we want to conquer. I think we want to go into this bit here pretty soonish as well. So we are going to try to take a claim on Genoa. If that doesn't work, we are going to make a claim on Piedmont here because it's really close to the capital. And then we can get this state here under control over time. That I think would be nice. Alternatively, if we fail our spy networks here, we can also go eastward. In regards to the east, we can go after Bologna right away because we do have a core here, which I actually want to take as fast as possible. But for that, we need to secure military access here, which we're probably not going to get right away. So we have to see. I should have enforced that with a peace deal, but I was too lazy. I just pieced them out when they were willing to. And so we are going to do 2 things. We are going to expand by conquering, and we are going to expand by vassalizing. And that's going to be peaceful vassalization mostly, if we can make it work. For example, here in Trent, we could actually make it work already. However, we do need more diplomats here to make this properly. And we do have other objectives first. So I'm going to jump forward probably, but just some last words here. We start with trade ideas, which is great. We also have admin ideas, which is also really strong. And we do get like corruption reductions and corruption from autonomy reduction and so on, but also more admin efficiency, which makes everything cheaper in regards to taxation but annexation. And we do have really strong idea groups here with rural skills, Diplo reputation, then the institution authority, which is nice. The prestige and trade scale, we do have metalworking plus 15. And a massive manpower reduction cost, or recruitment cost in the end. And then, of course, the Lombard Renaissance, which reduces amenities for cities massively. So we are going to, of course, use this to our advantage to make a lot of cities. Now, in regards to our armies here, we do have a big income. Let's see where it actually comes from. So we can see here that property is around 80 ducats, and direct taxation is 232, and indirect taxation is 180. And I think we have to wait another year to see the details, because the game isn't properly initiated yet, because we are on a 57, so we have to wait until 58 to see all the details. But basically, I think a lot of that is trade here. Ah, not actually. This doesn't work. Something is missing here. Yeah, I think we have to wait until 58 so that everything got calculated at least once, so we can see it. And yeah, we are going to pick Genoa as a rival actually. And then let's go after France. I don't mind. In hindsight, not hindsight, but probably... Ooh. Let's take this one. We probably want England to win the 100 Years' War. So if we can maybe pull an alliance with England eventually and help them against France, that probably is in our interest. Because we... But it might not... It might be that we can't prevent France from winning the 100 Years' Wars here. I think currently it's leaning towards France again. The last versions it was leaning towards England. So it's always switching around a bit depending on what we change. And I think the Burgher Privileges favor France currently because it weakens England more. Yeah, that was our alliance with Venice. That is bound to happen. Now, can we get an alliance with... Yes, we can. So if we... we should have continued improving relation here. Yeah, we need to. If we can get an alliance with Austria here, that would be magnificent. So let's see if we can. And then afterwards, I'm not sure what else to do. Now let's wait for the yearly tick here and see where we are with our incomes and so on. So where everything comes from in detail, or maybe it even goes down because stuff is getting recalculated properly. Let's see. The first 2 years are always a bit messy until everything is done. But yeah, we want Austria, I think, on our side because they are close enough and we can maybe prevent them from going into our stuff here. And that was a break in music here. Okay, we got a new merchant. We are going to take the money here. And so we are going to put him into Venice here. Okay, let's see. After February, we can see the new incomes, I think. Because that should be the last calculation. That needs to be done. But yeah. We start, of course, really strong with a very large city as of Milan here. And we are going to just keep growing that one. So we already start with 100,000, but growing by 1k. So that's awesome. Yeah, income went down actually. So it's almost 10 now. And let's see if we now go into details. We should see more. Yes, now we see all the details here. So direct taxation went down. We can see that the massive income is from obligations in the Burgher department with 87 and only 40 from the nobles. And that's mostly due to the fact that we currently, of course, have these obligation things here still running, which we want to get rid of. And we can also do a grand celebration here, which is the new, has the new properties here, 80%. So it's a bit cheaper than in the past now. We also have a lot of free state ownership capacity here. So we want to invest in our stuff and therefore get set some properties into our hands here. So we need to see where we want to invest money, but we also have I set up the auto investor to do stuff. So let's see where that leads to. And now the big question is, can we rush the reform? We would need 250 admin. We would also need at least Grando with another 30 admin. Yeah, I think we can do it though. So we are going up slowly here. +1 currently. And we could do the tax relief, but also the grain dole. Actually, let's do the grain dole already. And now the question is, what are we going to do long term? We do have trade ideas and we do have admin ideas. And we don't actually need to reform military quickly. We would need 2 military idea groups to do the hybrid military reform. And we would need another 2. We would also need 2 to do the enlistment here. And we would need 35 state reach, which is far away into other reforms. So military reforms are out of question for a long time. Which means we could delay any military ideas and instead maybe move another admin idea in. Oh no, not that song. We do have trade ideas and admin. We could, of course, go after bureaucracy. But I don't really like that one. Because we are already pretty reformed and we don't need to rush reforms here. The buffs are nice. But I don't think we need to. We could instead go for economic scales with free trade, which we don't have. The free trade scales with engineering, that would be nice. And this one scales with logistic. Economic is nice, and it also leads to engineering, which would be a good idea group. Right? Where is it? Here. Administrative leads to empire? No. Economic, it leads to engineering, yeah. We could also consider something like quantity to get the metalworking skills here for our armaments industry, for the Milanese steel here. Which is currently at already 160 skill, which is massive because we do have the Milanese plus 15% already here. So that would scale really well. That would be nice. This is a consideration we could take for military idea. It also reduces garrison costs, which again leans into metalworking because garrisons provide a little bit of metalworking skill. And we could also consider doing something like Standing Army, which is now providing weaving and education on a small amount. You could also do logistics here, which reduces pathing costs and garrison costs as well. Also provides a bit CE and weaving skill bonuses. Could also go into fortification if you want to, because it provides construction skill. Yeah, I think we go economic though. Which means that we are going to go into the admin focus here and rush this down more or less. Which means that we are going to have enough admin for our hopeful free peasantry reform in about a year. And therefore I'm going to skip forward a bit. Ooh, they want to... Ooh, yes. So, Austria paying me for the institution. Nice. So, let's rush forward a bit and see where we are in 1 or 2 years when we can do the reform. Well, that was fast. Just a year later, we get the stability as expected. And we are also quite lucky by the looks of it. So, next month we have enough admin. But we also have enough spy network here for Genoa. But I already investigated here. So they are protected by Naples. So we will not be able to attack them here. So even when we get the conquest Casus Belli here, right? So because Genoa has 8,000, which is not a problem. They are probably somewhere here in Spain involved in the civil war or here on the island, which is fine. The problem are the 18,000 troops of 17,000 troops of Naples, which I don't think that we can defeat them because we only have 12,000 troops. Yep, not a chance. So we are going to delay this a bit. The question is, do we maybe want to curry favors here? I think we want to, so let's do this. And then, in the meantime, continue on our electors here, which is not going in our favor because Bohemia is working strongly on them. So that's a problem. And yeah, let's see what will happen here now. And we are going to just continue forward. And I think I'm going to skip ahead. No, wait a second. We wanted to do a reform. Haha. I almost forgot the reform. So we still need to wait for... No, wrong interaction. We need to... Oh yeah, it costs only dip. So it costs us 1 stability, 30 diplo points. And this reform, we can do it. Oh, it's one of the following. Oh, I'm bad. We don't even need to do the alignment. Haha. So we can just do it already because we have 30 metropolitan influence. Of course we do. The nobility will not like this. But that's of course. So we do this. And we enact it. Minus 40 loyalty. And 30% stability increase interval and 10 legitimacy. That is fine. Because now we can just take the 10 legitimacy from the Pavia conquest. Awesome. And now we are on free peasantry already in 59. Which is really important for our total play here. And now we can see what we could do. We can do a royal marriage here. We can do... Do we want to overlook tenants here? I think we can do this. Yeah, I think we can do this once at least. Oh, wait a second. That costs us... But it gives us 15 loyalty. This one would give us 10 loyalty and give us a little bit of power. Yeah, let's get it because we get a wife, but we do have a decent heir here. A really good heir, not a decent one. This is a really good one. So let's do it this one instead and not the peasantry one. And yeah. And now we get 10% skill on top of this on our crop industry, for example, which already is super profitable. But now we'll go up to 118%. Great. What else we need to do here now is the... We want to get rid of more burger reforms, but we do have only 58 loyalty. We already removed the guild entrenchment. We can't do the last one because that requires corporate law, which is global trade stuff. So we are going to be stuck on this privilege for like forever. Yeah. I think there's nothing we can do right now. Instead, I'm going to skip forward and see what kind of opportunities will arise and how we are going to expand our realm here. Ideally, we just get Austria on our side to help us against Genoa, against Naples, but I don't think that will be anytime soon. I mean, we get 0.3 favors currently, which is not a lot. So to get to 25 favors for the war declaration, well, it's 3.6 per year. So that's like 8 years that we have to wait until we can pull Austria in. Which means that we should consider what to do with our diplomats here. And I think I'm going to try to vassalize a trend here. To alliance, proclaim guarantee, improve relations, get them. And I need to make another claim somewhere so that we can conquer something. And that will probably be Ferrara. Because then we are just going to do the same war again that we just left. Yeah, actually, I think that's more important than the emperorship currently. Because emperorship doesn't run away. We will have time to burn down our aggressive expansion eventually. How do we go after Savoy? Switzerland and Besançon. Both are nice. We definitely want claims in both directions to have options. So we're going to do one or the other. Or both. But let's skip forward a bit here. Okay, we have reached 62. So a little bit of time has passed and an opportunity has arisen, which I want to take. And actually Bologna here, which, as we mentioned, has our core here, could be used to stage an invasion into what's the region called? Marche, whatever. Which is not in the Empire, so that's the good bit here. So we are not going to get that much aggressive expansion here, because what we want to do is we're going after Bologna, of course, and then we want to take Ancona here. Because Ancona itself is a very rich city. 62,000 residents. We are going to just vassalize them. Then we do have a foothold here in the region. And of course we take the core of Bologna here. I think that's all we want to take. We are going to call Trent into the war. So afterwards we probably can vassalize them. Because we get a bit more economy score. Ragusa doesn't interest us. Albino, we can't really conquer stuff right now, so I mean, maybe if we piece out Ancona first, we might be able to also take Albino here. Perugia as well then. Oh, that would call in other people, so we don't want to. And Ravenna. We could try Ravenna as well. So basically, we just march down here and siege first. Probably we run towards Ancona directly, because if we siege down Bologna too quickly, then this would lead to war exhaustion when they give up. We don't necessarily want that. We have to be a little bit careful, because if all troops stack up in one tile, that might be enough to defeat us. But separately, I think they are no threat to us. And now we have to get military access here, for which I improved relations here, and now we can pass through. Yes, and let's get this up. Yes, perfect. So that's 2,000 less. We should reduce the speed here. And we go light looting here because most of the stuff we wanted to take. And now we run towards Ancona directly. Yeah, that's the... Yeah, I should have not been so fast, but I think this isn't the problem. It will be heavy losses, but I think we can win this. And they didn't build a fort here yet, which is good. Sometimes the AI tends to build a fort here in Urbino or somewhere here, which would be unfortunate. But bye-bye. Where are you going? You probably run back to Bologna here. So bye-bye. And I think I'm going to just peace out Perugia immediately. And then get started on Ancona. So like this, you will be gone. Bye-bye. And I think now we get white beast. Yeah, we get flagged. Yeah, right. So we have to rock home once at least. And then we have to go home again and go back into the fight. But like this, we have won this war already. We just got the interaction back with the influence. I'm not sure what I want to do. I think I want to get this one out of the way. So we are going to do runs here and then we wait until we have like 80 loyalty again. So that we can continue on revoking privileges. We do have one elector on our side, so let's solidify this one and then we can try to get another one. And now let's get Ancona. That's going to be a lengthy siege though, because of all the modifiers they have. Yeah, now they're running into my realm. I don't like this, but so I have to defeat some troops here. Right. I mean, what we could do... It's a bit manpower intensive, but we could carpet siege now. So one goes here. And then we move the rest to Albino. So then they can't make new troops. So here. One troop on Albino itself. Who else is at war? Ravenna is almost that siege down. And Ragusa will probably not intervene here. So we just stay like this and wait. And see if we can make the plan work that I want to make work here. Because it would be ideal. Oh no, we just lost our spy network here. Oh, that's sad. So we are going to switch to Piedmont in Savoy. Or Savoy, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. We are going to cancel this one and we are... What? Why did we lose 19 points? Really? Well, then let's send him here. Eventually we can get become emperor. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, let's not blow this out of proportion, but this is going to cost us stability. That's not cool. Okay, Arena has fallen. Alright, we need to siege Urbino. Or we should have done that already. And can we actually... How many do we need here? 4 regiments. Nah. So we have to take Ancona and then send the army to Bologna here. Unfortunate. Okay, let's sell it to Saluzzo. Okay, I'm going to skip forward until the end of the war. And yeah, and then we can continue talking about our future here. Okay, here we are. The war has already ended 3 months ago, roughly. And I just wanted to get beyond the 1st of January tick. And now a few things have happened. Of course, we can grant Ancona, the Urbino province here. Perfect. That plan worked as expected. What didn't work was Ravenna. So we couldn't take Ravenna because apparently this adjacency doesn't count. But this adjacency does. So we couldn't take it because it was adjacent to one of our cores. Or vessel cores. Yeah, but also what has happened on the year tick is the support. We have 3. Oh, only 1 anymore. Something happened over the year tick, so let's quickly get this thing one here. Which is going to get us prestige, but also an additional diplomat for 25 years. So our next mission would be to become emperor. That would be nice. And we do need 2 subjects in the empire. That's something we are also going to get. That would renew the diplomat modifier, which is of course super nice here. But now the new one we are going to use to improve on Ancona here. I already set up as a diplomatic focus here that we want these provinces here. So for example, Venice and the Papal State stuff. We also want Ferrara here. So, and now it's about getting an opportunity to do this. We also got quite some loot out of this war here. So we are going to invest that immediately into these amenities here. In between, I have invested a little bit into the industries here, but we only have 5 state reach. Yeah, so the 50 ducats in farmland and industrial that we invested there didn't really disappear yet, so that's of course a problem. We do, however, I think we run out of the recent reforms soonish, yeah, in 2 years. So I think when that has happened, we are going to expand state reach to 15%, because then we could do the state tax farming reform, which I think is the next most important one here to increase our incomes. We can relax a bit on the privileges here, because we are not in a really terrible state in that regard. So we can just improve state reach a bit to get started on some bureaucracy reforms, even though they are far away and very expensive, of course. Now, we are going to expand this one. I mean, we could check, do we already have... Oh, we do already have a claim here. And that would put us at war with Genoa, which would... They would be co-belligerent there. Not sure I want that. Do you have claims anywhere else? Ooh, you have a claim on Ferrara already. So we could go after Ferrara here. That's nice. Which means that I can delay Brandenburg here. We don't want to become emperor anyway right now. That's too much at the same time. We want to first get the strongest foothold here on Italy so that nobody can contest us. Okay, Genoa just dropped out of our rival status. Naples, Castile. Castile is still there. Ah, yeah. Trastamara didn't win yet. So that's going to happen eventually. We are getting close to the 25 favors there for the call to arms. Meanwhile, Florence has expanded and taken over Siena and Pisa, which is formidable. Something I would have done. So we have to keep an eye on them because they get quite strong from this. So, yeah. But of course it also helps because we could vassalize them in one go if we want to. Oh, we have Rogue Republic against them? Ooh, that's strong. Yeah, we have to go after... Oh, we can't afford this, I'm sure. I'm sure we can't afford this. But this is an offer we can't refuse. I mean, Perugia we just kick out immediately. Yeah, we have to do it. Let's see how much it will cost us. Else we just take money. 78. Ah. So the thing is, as you can see here, many are at 56 or 55. And we would only get minus 42, 40, 35. So, in short, how much do we decay per year? 3 per year. I think we have to hold this war for like 3 or 4 years. And then this should be doable. We can also loot it, even though that's not cool. But looting it has a benefit that it maybe reduces development a bit. Of course, it also needs a year tick. So we have to... Let's just see what we can do here. I mean, it will anyway take at least a year to get... So, do we... Do we burn it down? Yes. If we can get development down, that would be massive. We should also take the military tech. Did we forget to... Oh, we should have called in Trent. Let's do this. We should go and help them here before their troops die. So let's do it. Defensive wars, defensive battles are in our favor. Yeah, I think this is really Florence on a silver plate here. Okay, what do we do to... Okay, we cancel this one. We cancel this one as well. Oh, well, you're not doing it. Okay, now it's done. We are going to improve relation with those which are the most dangerous runs for us. Is Naples on it if we do it? Naples, Naples, Naples. I don't see Naples. Ooh, Papal States will join. Ooh, that's dangerous. Because Papal States means that we could risk an excommunication. Genoa, of course. Venice, of course. So let's improve the Papal States as well here. And you guys and Venice maybe? Historical rival. Historical friend. That's cute. Who else is dangerous in the Empire to us? Austria is on our side, so they don't matter. What has happened to Croatia? Oh, they refused, and then they integrated, annexed them by the inheritance event. Probably when the king died or something, they got really lucky. And oh boy, that's dangerous. Hungary without Croatia. That's not to be trifled with. That makes them even stronger, more strong than they already are. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, we need to kick out Perugia first, and yeah, who else to improve? Brandenburg will go into PU, that doesn't matter. Maybe something next door to us here, like Verona. Okay, I'm going to fight this war because it's relatively simple, because we already defeated their army once. And then let's see how long we can extend it before they surrender. Oh well, here we are. The end is near for our conquest of Florence here. I tried to delay it as much as possible. We are 2.5 years in. I think 3 years actually. Oh wait, so it should be sold That's 30, 64, 3 years already. Yeah. So I was able to delay it by 3 years. However, the bad news is that didn't do much. But I was waiting for the book burning to expire, and actually this is perfect timing. So because book burning increased our tech cost by 10%, and now we can do this one here a bit cheaper for the 5% administration efficiency, but I think that only reduces costs and not aggression. Oh, it did reduce aggression. Nice. But still, that's too much. We can do one more thing to reduce it by going here and doing the Grand Celebration to get 5 prestige. That also decreases them slightly. No, I got the impression it went up even. Shouldn't, but maybe something got recalculated, which is not in our favor. Yeah, another problem is, do we take it? I say no, because there is Genoa in it, and Genoa has these deadly alliances of Naples and Castile. Yep, both. And that's a problem. And so we have to release at least Pisa from it. And then we are down to 55. Florence, Montferrat, Massa, Lucca, Ferrara, Friuli, Trieste, Rishon, Gorizia, Fermo, Perugia, Ravenna, and Venice. And I think that's what I'm willing to take here. And I want to get me cash as well. Say 100 score. Pisa is going to be released. This opens up the possibility to... Wait a second, where's my army's already home, yeah. Don't want to get stuck down here. So this opens a possibility to maybe vassalize Pisa instead. It's of course not ideal, but fine. There we go. Of course, they are now super unruly. We are going to fix that by placating them at least 2 times here. And now we have to improve relations here, but this is going to be nasty. Yeah, and now we have to really see what we can do here now to recover from this aggressive expansion hit, because that's of course massive here. I still want to vassalize Trent. Can we also vassalize you? No. Not yet at least, but we could prepare for it by... We have Austria. Can we get the 3rd alliance actually? No, we can't because we don't have... But we could royal marriage them. No, we don't have the slot either. We still have the royal marriage with Saluzzo here. We could... this will probably disappear on its own, and then we can go after Pisa. Pisa is not a threat right now, or not in danger currently. Which means that we have to... Okay, that was the loot here, Looker. Yeah, now the alliance is forming. We are going to improve relation with those who join, so that they maybe go out of the alliance again soonish. Let's see who else joined. Grishun. Definitely nice to you. Friuli and Massa. Yeah. Ferrara. Everybody joins now. That's okay though. Just to be expected. We do have Austria as a buddy for the moment. We should also take this tech now. That lowers our liberty desire by another 5% here. And now we just have to get below 200. And then we should get above 50% pretty quickly. And army size. Yeah, we can go up. And we should actually. We just to have a bigger impression that we are strong here. We do have a bit of cash again, but we are going to need that to build another amenities here in the conquered Bologna or Emeglia. So that's the next one, because if we check our amenities map mode, we can see that this one is the worst. Cremona is still upgrading, but also Parma needs an upgrade, Rest needs an upgrade, Oresa needs also an upgrade. So we do have a lot of expenses on the horizon here, which we need to finance somehow. We could consider to, when we have relaxed a bit, to, for example, use some of our war goals here. For example, Grishun. Oh, well, Grishun we want to conquer, actually. Actually, we probably want to vassalize them. Or maybe vassalize Tyrol here, if we can. And then feed Grishun into it so that we do not have the massive separatism plus 10 here, because we want it as a fortified position, and separatism would be not that useful against this. Yeah, so what can we do now? I think we want to continue focusing on stuff here. And our reform cooldown has expired, so we are going to expand bureaucracy here now. Doing the Graindal could counteract the stability loss over time, but we do also have a little bit of loyalty here to spend. So, money or military? This is very expensive with 80%. But I think... yeah, noble levies is only 5 military investment currently. Volunteers 11, citizen service 7, levies 5. Citizen levies, which is citizen militia here, which, so this one would also be an option to be removed. Let's see. Citizen militia is 8k manpower with 9,000 maximum. Feudal levy is 9,000 with 10,000 maximum. And state army is also maxed out, so we are... oh no, wait a second. Max levy is 22. Max volunteers is 22k, okay. So we are not maxing out our state army currently. Yeah, that's a big question though. Or we go for more cash here by removing obligations here with noble dues. Noble dues is only 4 dip currently. Charter fees is 9. But how much does charter fees do? Ooh, a lot of money. 111. Noble dues is only 53. Okay, so that's not really a thing. Land tax is not really worth it yet. I think actually we can reduce our admin investment here down to 10 and therefore save some points. Okay, what else can we do? I think I still want to do the noble dues there, because nobility will only get richer by our conquest and then we can get some cash out of it. Also, our tax reform will play in this direction because it will also increase the income we get from there. So let's do this. Only 40 loyalty. And then we do the promote here. Concessions and the relative. Actually, we are also going to throw the royal marriage behind it. We do have nobility power to play with. Looking at our economy, most important here currently is Lombardy itself. So let's see if we maybe want to invest into it. It has a stone industry. Interesting. Didn't know. We have a stone industry here. And there's still some room. And it's quite profitable, so raw is in demand here. Armaments is our key export here. We are producing 32 military. a lot of profit. And the other ones are not profitable at all. So... yeah... 58% throughput on crops already is of course something we don't want to invest further in. Our skill cap went up to almost 180%, so that's good. Armaments is at around 60% skill cap, almost reached as well. I think that's still from the commercialization which we embraced, which gave us, yeah, plus 30% urban skill, so that's ticking up. Oh yeah, we still have the privilege. Right, I was confused why we only have 180% rural skill, but we still have this one here. So this would be something we could investigate. We can get 10 loyalty here. We would lose 60. Ooh. Nah, we can't do this now. Yeah, we want to do these ones next. We have to save up a bit. So we are going to do the support commerce, which is going to get us 10 loyalty here. At least. That's something. Venice has joined. Ooh, we can do free commerce though. Do we want to though? We currently get 2% state reach of burger commerce income. Which is probably nothing. Can we see that somehow? Oh, here. Yeah, maybe. Commerce fees, 0. Either they are bugged or they are not working, or it's the wrong one to look for. Not sure. I mean, this would make the burgers ecstatic. So that's a lot of loyalty. We could combine this with revoking that one privilege. Question is, can we afford it currently in our situation? There was an investment. Okay, let's wait for the month to tick. So that UI refreshes here. Oh, it already is refreshed. Where is that? Here. So we removed this one. It also removed burger power level. That's good. And then we do free commerce. I think I like this. So we renegotiate urban land holdings here. Lose 60 loyalty. Oh, no, we can't do it. Because we don't have the dip. I should have paid attention to this. And now we are going to go over the next year cap. That's bad because now we getting the year tick on the lower loyalty, which is unfortunate. So we're getting quite an income and corruption hit from this low loyalty here. For at least a year. Fine. Could be worse. Trade skill. Yeah, we are lacking fuel heavily, which is pulling down our military performance. That's something we have to investigate next, before we end the first episode here. And next time we are going to continue expanding and look what we can do with our economy here. So let's get to the next year. Do the reform and then talk about the fuel situation and see what we could do about it. Come on, game. Don't take forever now. Ooh, maybe we are doing a bit too much apparently at the same time, because we are also... We have this reform ongoing currently. Not reform, but the state reach expansion. That's a problem as well. A lot of people joining coalition. Only care... Ah yeah, we have to wait now, so let's speed up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. 2, 3 more months. Now this one will get us the trade skill. 15% is quite a lot, but probably significant. An ideal burger size modifier is nothing we care about currently. And 1 more month. The trade skill could be quite useful if we take out Genoa in like 20 years when our aggressive expansion has decayed. Because then we can replace their commerce with ours without losing too much because of the skill differences. Okay, let's do it. 40 loyalty we are going to get. That's good. Then we can throw something like hardened smugglers behind it, maybe? Yeah, I think we should. Going to get us a lot of corruption again, but I think it's worth it for once here. And Venice already left, and Grishun as well. And we're going to do a tax relief here as well. Okay, that was a short-lived coalition. Yeah, because they lack a big player. The biggest one was Venice here. But that was not enough against me plus Austria eventually. So, now, fuel. So what we can see probably here is... Yeah, we have a 78.9 fulfillment on fuel. And I assume that our commerce, which we should invest into actually. So how about we dump like 50 and another 50 into commerce. That should keep it busy for a long time. So we need fuel for our armaments industry, I assume. Yeah, the armaments industry has 12 inputs it wants. 8 it gets. Hi. So we can of course buy fuel. We probably already do. If you check it here. Fuel import. Yeah, we are importing from everywhere we can and we still have unmet demand. So that's a thing of course. Now, where do we get fuel? The best fuel source, of course, is coal. And if I remember correctly, we don't have any. Yeah. Silesia, of course, has a lot of coal here. Then Western Germany here. There's this province here in France, and France is not really liking us. We can improve relations there. Maybe we can get some. And then there's down here is coal. Yeah, that's not going to help us. Next fuel source is forestry. So potential forestry in... Oh, we do have some in Bologna. Oh yeah, wow, 24. Great. Yeah, let's use it. So we are going to invest 20 into it. Better than nothing. Everything else is maxed out or not existent. Yeah, great, right? You will be a very big problem here. So the next question would be the fuel price list. Now that's not helpful. Because that's too far. We have to... No, wait a second. We can do this here as well. So just Europe. And then we look at the fuel price list. There we go. Oh, Sicily is even worse. Great. And Granada is best. Why is Granada cheap? What? Do they... They don't really have a lot of forests used? Probably they just don't have a lot of industry that uses, and they are in a climate which doesn't use a lot of fuel, so yeah. Okay, so... as to the south is definitely not better. I mean, we are pretty decent still with our price, but it's probably going up quickly. Let's see. Yeah, fuel price is rising. Can we get to Granada though? Or into this node at least. So we need to get to Gulf of Lyon. For which we need... Wait a second. Shouldn't we be able to? Major sector. Every sector in the same node, all sectors in neighboring nodes. If this sector is coast... Oh, okay, we are not coastal. Yeah, this is a problem. Oh no, it could jump once still. It could still jump once. So we should be able to reach Granada. Where is Aval? Aval. Oh, that's Gulf of Lyon. Oh, that's enough. So we can reach Gulf of Lyon, but probably we can't reach Granada because it's too far. Yes. Diplomatic range, I think, is also playing a role here. And also relations, and probably everything is already bought before we can. At least we are exporting raw materials, and we are exporting consumer goods, and we are exporting military. We are even wasting 10. Not ideal. Yeah. We have to solve this in the next episode and consider... Oh, wait a second. One last thing. So, Europe. And then... potential forests. No. No. Maximum forests. So, the biggest forest nearby is actually Piedmont. Ah, Europe is so deforested. That's so crazy. There's not a lot of wood here. Do these provinces not have any wood? No, they don't. Great. Yeah. This is going to be a big problem. Not sure where to get my fuel. I think we have to conquer Piedmont as quickly as possible. It's only 131 forests, but that's a lot of stuff already. It's 11 fuel we would get from there, plus timber. That would solve many of our problems, and currently they probably don't like us much. So that's why we can't get a lot of fuel from them. And then here to Hungary, which is rivaling us, and Castile probably is the best source for fuel long term. Of course Naples as well, but Naples probably also doesn't like us. But something we can fix, and we should be able to trade with them because that's just the Tyrrhenian Sea node. But we do not have... We don't have much say in this node until we take out Genoa here. So that's the goal here. We have to get into the fuel trade here to solve our economy problems. But yeah, that's for the next episode. Leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.